For the first 2 weeks, the Eagles' offensive line, well, it's been a slop show. Sloppier than a college freshman on Thirsty Thursday. It was a despicable performance. I can't even get it out. I'm so pissed off. I know Jeremy feels the same goddamn way. 21 yards and a single first down in the first half? Are you kidding me? 20-10 lost, and it shouldn't have even been that close. Jeremy, let's just get right into it. Let's vent. I'm struggling to get the words out of my mouth, just like the Eagles were struggling to get yards on the field.
And that first down was through a penalty in the first half. I was there, front and center. I was in the stands, and I saw more of a battle in the stands amongst Cowboys and Eagles fans than I saw in the trenches on the field between our offensive line and the defensive line, because we got dominated. Just no push on the run game. DeMarco Murray had 13 carries, and he averaged about 6 inches a carry, and that was a joke. I don't even know what to say. I was speechless for a while. Couldn't really talk to anybody about it. It brings up all these questions in my head. Has the defensive minds in the league figured out Chip Kelly's scheme? Did our offensive linemen, they don't just forget how to block. These are professionals. Guys like Jason Peters, Jason Kelsey, they look like crap. They just can't make a hole for our running backs, and they can't protect Bradford. Bradford looks like a scared little schoolgirl. Can't make any good decisions yesterday. Terrible interceptions. Just terrible everything. I don't know what else to. Yeah, that's at a loss for words.
Yeah, everything with this 0-2 start, it begins with the offensive line. When you can run block, it'll open up holes for DeMarco Murray and Ryan Matthews. When you can run the ball, that opens up the deep passing game. When you can do a little bit of both, then that keeps your defense off the field. So everything about this 0-2 start begins with the offensive line. DeMarco Murray averaging 5.5 inches a carry. My freaking dick is bigger than that. An Asian man's penis is bigger than that. This is terrible right now.
I mean, I would think, Chip teased us a little bit. He teased us in the second half of the Atlanta game. Our offense was clicking. We had Atlanta on their heels. Big game, home opener, Dallas this week. Chip's going to come in with a good game plan, right? Oh, no. Not at all. What the fuck?
This is a must-win game. This is the same goddamn team that freaking flew a banner on Military Day during the national anthem that says "Sacks coming, we them boys," and we don't show up. 20-10, 21 yards in the first half, 226 yards in the whole goddamn game. Can't run the ball, can't pass protect, can't run block. Can't pick up a third down because our receivers are dropping the ball. The hell is this shit?
Guess who led our team in rushing yards yesterday? Sam Bradford, the guy with 2 ACLs.
The guy that ran onto the field is the guy who led the team in rushing yards.
Yeah, I saw a fan get decleated. He ran onto the field. It was a slop show in that stadium, man. People were reckless. People were pissed. I stayed till the very end of the game, and just the dagger at the end, the garbage touchdown to Jordan Matthews. Woohoo! We were down 20-3. We got a touchdown. They played the Eagles fight song and lit up the fireworks, and I didn't say a single word of the fight song. Not deserving of it, not at all. And we could be looking at 0-3 if we sleep on the Jets, and Todd Bowles, the defensive mind, they're going to be at home. I'm honestly scared. I am scared.
Yeah, and that fan running onto the field, that's the only goddamn pancake Alan Barbary had all game. So just despicable all the way around. Byron Maxwell.
Oh my!
Oh, the effort on the slant pass. I'm already getting red. My face is already turning into a tomato. For 2 straight weeks now, he's laughing post-game.
He's laughing. I think I don't know. Is this Asamoah 2.0? He already has a Super Bowl ring. He got his money. I don't think he gives a shit. And and Nolan Carroll, he isn't like a real star. This is the first time he's really getting some action, and he's not been great. Malcolm Jenkins has been the best player in the secondary, but Byron Maxwell, man, he said something post game along the lines of, maybe it was throwing the offense under the bus, but he's like, we're human beings. We get tired because, they were on the field for 40 and a half minutes. And he's like, he gave up. He gave up on that Terrence Williams slay. It's like he doesn't give a shit about the team or winning or any. We wanted to bring in like somebody from the Legion of Boom to bring that mentality and this winning atmosphere. And he's just a complete dud so far. And he's got to cover the likes of Brandon Marshall, who is a big physical receiver who catches everything that comes at him. Veteran. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, a simple slant pass. You take a terrible angle, and once he runs past you, you give up running. You're not even running after him. I mean, I think it's half Maxwell and half Billy Davis and what they're doing with him. He's playing off coverage all off season. We're hearing about how well. First of all, the defense was fine yesterday. Defense was awesome, but this pertains to Maxwell specifically, and the quarterbacks in general. We're asked we're told all off season we're going to play press man coverage at the line of scrimmage, an aggressive style. And I'm seeing Maxwell off coverage. Everything's going inside. The middle of the field is wide open when you go up against him. So he's already playing 10 yards off the receiver. And, I'm looking at this. I'm like, where the hell is this attacking, aggressive press style at the line of scrimmage? What the hell is this shit?
I love Corey Unlin, how we brought him in. Does he have any influence on Billy Davis, about what he's going to do in the secondary? Because it ain't working. Other than Maxwell, you can maybe come away with the defensive line looked great. Fletcher and Benny did their thing. I just saw, Kiko Alonso's injury does not look good. Kendricks has a hammy. That's going to linger. One bright spot I thought was Jordan Hicks, and D'Amico made some plays too. But Jordan Hicks, the rookie, he came on and made 7 or 8 tackles. He looked pretty good. But if you can't, back to the offense, if you can't run the ball, you're just not going to win games, and we could be looking at 0-3, 0-4. I don't see us winning a game. Will Chip work? Will we be able to turn it around? I honestly don't know. I have no idea. We'll see how smart he really is, if he can adjust. Because he doesn't adjust. He's so egotistical, and he just sticks to one thing, doesn't want to deviate. Oh, my scheme will work. My scheme will work. Well, apparently it's not working, so you better figure something out.
Yeah, he's got to fix it. And I'm still optimistic about the offense. The defense, again, yesterday, absolutely outstanding. On the field for more than 30 minutes, and for what they did, basically allowing 13 points, because the punt block, that was on special teams. So 13 points, that's outstanding. I don't care if Des Bryant is playing or not. So that was good. That's the positive takeaway. But this offense right now, this is reminding me of the 2 games that the Eagles had a couple years ago with Chip. 15-7 against the Giants, 17-3 against Dallas. And Chip figured it out. He made some adjustments, and the rest of the way, the Eagles go for over 400 yards in every game but 2, I believe. So they go from going 200 yards, 278 yards in those 2 games, and then they go and explode. Actually, 6 of their last 9 games, they go over 400 yards. They finish the year 7-2. The next game after the Giants and Cowboys game was against Oakland, and that's the game that Nick Foles throws 7 touchdowns. So I'm trying to remain optimistic, and going back, the way I kind of viewed the whole offseason in general, you load up on defense because Chip is so confident in his scheme that you can load up on defense and rely on his scheme to hide the deficiencies of talent on the offensive side of the ball. And he's going to have to fix it. There's no one to blame but him. It's all on Chip right now. And God damn it, again, he's got to fix it. And that's what it is.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
He has to fix it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Coming off those two games you mentioned, 2013, where we ended up making a run and winning the division. But the Jets aren't Oakland. We're also going to the Meadowlands, and I'm anxious to see how the Jets look tonight against an offense like the Colts, who the Colts were sluggish in Week 1 as well. I like to see how the Jets look tonight. I mean, Chris Ivory has shown that he was pounding the ball. He got over 90 yards and 2 touchdowns in Week 1. Ryan Fitzpatrick, okay, well, he's a game manager, but their defense is scary, man. Will Bradford be able to throw against Darrelle Revis, Antonio Cromartie?
Well, the way I kind of see it, the first one to 20 points wins that game. So you don't have to score a lot of points. I do think they're going to shut us down because the Jets have an outstanding defense. Todd Bowles knows how to beat us. He did it last year in Arizona. But they got Ryan Fitzpatrick. That offense isn't very, very, very good. So we'll see. But going back to the offense and all that stuff, the game yesterday, the reason why I remain optimistic as well, there's no way that Jason Kelce and Jason Peters can get any worse than they're playing. They were supposed to hide the deficiencies at guard, and they're not. Jason Peters yesterday, his run blocking was absolutely abysmal. It was bad. Jason Kelce, same goddamn thing. All right, so we start with the ball. Second half. After getting 1 first down in the first half, our first play is the cross route to Aguilar, picks up 11 yards. So you got a first down. You're like, all right, maybe we can get going here. Let's get a rhythm going. And then the next play, I believe this is the one where Kelce pulls. He overruns Lawrence. Lawrence is in the backfield, and DeMarco Murray loses 5 yards. Very next play, Peters is getting beat for a 6-yard loss. So all of a sudden it's 3rd and 21. And this has been the epitome of the run blocking that I've seen from the Eagles the first 2 games. We want to blame the guards, but yesterday, Jason Peters and Jason Kelce, in my opinion, were worse than the guards. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, the whole offensive line in general, and they're supposed to work as a cohesive unit. And, one slacks, the others catch up that slack and make up for it. So, I mean, it's just absolutely unacceptable. Like you said, you had a first down and then you lose 11 yards in 2 plays and you're stuck in a hole. And then we probably threw a 5-yard dump on 3rd and 21, if I remember something like that. And we had a punt. And even, so we get away from the running game and we go to Bradford and we're driving. We're at 1st and goal at the 3. And what do? We get nothing. And then it was a 2nd down that he threw it into Sean Lee's gut, blanketed on Zach Ertz. Just horrible decision. Josh Huff was open on a cross. Riley Cooper was in the end zone. He was open. You don't go through your progressions. He looked scared. And that was a drive we were driving. And then don't get me started on Kelce again after we had the fumble, the turnover, the amazing turnover. I'm like, oh, this is momentum. We're down 13-3. Like, we can get a touchdown now and get right back in it. Next snap, it just bounces off Bradford. And on top of that, it was like a penalty too, false start, but held up or whatever. It should have been a dead ball anyway. And that was just words can't – and that's just how the game was going. I mean, I knew, like, right then, I'm like, there's no way we're winning this game. This is a 0% chance. Yeah, we were just so frustrating, man. I just want to rip my hair out.
That's the worst part about the whole game. As bad as we're playing, as terrible as we look, the Cowboys don't look much better, They had 18 penalties for 142 yards. They were keeping us in the game. We were in the game. We weren't in the game, but we were in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly right. Points-wise, we were, always within 2 possessions pretty much. Anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, Romo breaks his clavicle, fumbles the ball, and then that's the drive where we go down the field and Bradford throws his interception. And then there's the other one, Escobar, he fumbles, and there goes Thurman rumbling down the sideline. We're at the 35. We're like, oh my God, it's 13-3. Even at field goal, it's 13-6. And then that very next play, it just wind out of the sail, man. It just heartbreaking stuff and just pathetic, man. We were talking about it. The worst game I've seen. It might offensively than I've seen. I can't think of a worse one. And this was worse than the Giants and the Cowboys games that I was referencing earlier with Chip.
Yeah, I mean, I was at the Seattle game last year after Thanksgiving, and we only put up 135 total yards. But I feel like we moved the ball a little more than yesterday. Even though we got more yards yesterday, it was just the way it happened. It just seemed so much worse. The way, just all the mistakes and. Oh, God. And, yeah, 18 penalties the Cowboys had. 18 penalties. That's absurd. And they still thoroughly owned us the whole game. We weren't even, I didn't think we had a shot to win after some point in the third quarter.
Yeah, we go 2 of 11 on third down. We're 5 of 23 on third down this season. And it's we see it right out of the gate with our run blocking. Well, at least the lack of faith that Chip has in his run blocking. Opening series of the game, we have 3rd and inches, and you're running this post corner route to Jordan Matthews. That doesn't have a high successful percentage of being completed. And we see snaps around the goal line, and we're at the 2-yard line, and we're throwing the ball. We're not even trying to run. Chip has no faith in the running game.
I don't get it because I just don't understand because he's all about running the ball. That's what he did in college, and that's what he did, with McCoy when he was here, and that's why we brought Murray and Matthews. We still have Sproles. We have that 3-headed attack. We're supposed to be running the ball, and DeMarco Murray has 21 carries now for the season and 11 yards total. You told me after before the season started, if you told me DeMarco Murray would have, without any injuries, would have 11 total yards in the first 2 games, I would say you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't understand Chip, man. I don't know. Has defenses figuring him out how to play him. We'll see if he can learn from this. If not, if we fall into a deeper hole, then we're really screwed. I mean, there's still 14 more games to go in the season. You got to remain somewhat optimistic, but I'm just not getting my hopes up anymore. I'm just gonna let it happen. Whatever happens, I just can't. I always get my hopes up, man, and it's just horrible being an Eagles fan and wearing my heart on my sleeve. And it's like, these guys are still making their millions and going home to their big houses, and we're sitting here getting all hot ass wives, and we're sitting here getting all upset. And I was at work today. I was working long hours, and I'm just like the day's just dragging. I'm just thinking about the game and everything, and just what's gonna, it's been on my mind all day, and it's just can't let a game get to you so much. You really can't, but it does.
Yeah, I know the feeling, man. I know. It is funny though. At the same time, I do feel a little bit more calmer than I feel like I should be, which I don't know if that's concerning or not. Because I am remaining optimistic. I am not going to judge this team until week 6. If the same things are still going on in week 6, then yeah, I will say yeah, we look like a shitty football team. But right now it's 2 games. I've seen Chip adjust before, and he is an offensive guru. It's time for him to prove it, and that's that. So let's talk about Bradford now, because the first 2 games have been, what do you think?
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
It's a lot of ups and downs. I mean, horrible for. He's had 6 bad quarters and 2 good ones. So that's about sums it up. He's bad 75% of the time. So yeah, it hasn't been a good start for Bradford at all. He showed a couple good plays in the second half. I didn't see a single good decision from him. I'm not counting the garbage TD to Matthews. I didn't see a single good thing from Bradford yesterday. Oh, he scrambled and got 9 yards on 2 carries. So that's about it. Bradford has not impressed me. He's not at all. Not yet. He's not what I thought. He was not like he was in that Green Bay preseason game. Let's just say
No,
that.
no. Yeah, I'll say this because heading into the preseason, I was saying that I was expecting it to take like a month into the regular season for Bradford to really start looking good again. And then I see the Green Bay game. I'm like, all right, maybe he's fine and he's not rusty at all. So I want to figure out if it's rust or if this is just who he is. Now, the thing that's concerning to me is I don't like what I'm seeing from the mental makeup perspective, the non-killer instinct. I am seeing DeMarco Murray on the sideline getting pissed off and wanting the football. And then I'm seeing Bradford just kind of laid back and chilling and looks a little bit scared. And that's not promising to me. I'm not seeing the accuracy. The decision-making hasn't been good. I mean, part of it has to do with the offensive line. They're not protecting him. He can't, he doesn't look comfortable in the pocket. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to chalk it up to rust or if this is just who he is. I'm not sure yet. And this is why I'm waiting and seeing until week 6. So the other thing to take into mind, too, is, the starters barely played in the preseason, too. And, you got all these new pieces, and they're clearly not gelling yet.
Yeah. You can blame Bradford for a lot, but I still blame this completely on Chip. I mean, Chip brought in all these guys. He got rid of the McCoys and let Macklin go and all this, and he got his guys here. Drafted Aguilar and so he's got his guys. It's his team. He's the GM. He's calling all the shots, and now it's time to put up or shut up. And he's really not shown in the first 2 weeks that he can be a good GM or coach at this point. He's been out-coached, I think, in both games. He's shown, the indecisiveness in game 1, and I don't think it's all personnel because, Bradford has flashes. We have Pro Bowlers on offensive line. I almost want to say that Chip's scheme is it catching up to him? Is it maybe going to start? Will Chip's philosophy, will it really work?
I'll say this. Again, I'm waiting till week 6. I'm still, I'm trying to keep Cobb and Chip on here. It's gut wrenching right now. I get it. I get it because we're 0-2 and we just performed like that on the national stage against the fucking cockroaches. All right. So I get the frustration. I understand it. It has reached a boiling point. My face has been red this whole show. I'm pissed off. I'm like Andy Reid's fucking tomato Chiefs jersey right now. But again, I'm trying to remain calm. I'm trying, but it is difficult. And going back to your scheme comments, he's got to make some changes. Because the running plays are predictable, and he needs to be a little bit more unpredictable. I want to see some double team combination blocks. I want to see some power running game inside the tackles. I want to see some of that. I'm still seeing the sweep play and the Cowboys yesterday. They're slanting and just guys. They're slanting and it's taking away the pulls. That's the counter to that. And we're just Jason Peters is letting guys knife through. Jason Kelsey's getting pushed backwards, and Barber and Gardner are just not athletic enough to pull. Yeah, they're not good. Good. Yeah, Bardner. Team Bardner.
The problem with Chip Kelly's ego is this big. It's bigger than my bedroom. And I mean, yeah, you would think he would be smart enough to make changes, but I just see him doing it his way, and he just has faith that it'll eventually work. But and there comes a point where you're right, like changes have to be made. He's got to put his ego aside a little bit. I know he'll never snap the ball from under center, but I would love to see maybe Trey Burton or Brent Selleck in an H-back position in front of Murray and run a strong I formation and just, like you said, double blocking schemes and run power football, because that's what we brought Murray here for. Shady's the one that used to run these sweeps and east-west and do all that. Murray is, if he's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage, there's not much you can do. You can't make that first guy miss. He's more about just finding the hole and going. So we brought these guys in here to be a power running game, and we're not utilizing them to their strengths, it seems.
Yeah, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. They're one-cut, north-south, downhill runners. That's what you brought them here for. That's what I thought they brought them here for, and they're not doing it. So, you got to do something else, man. We'll see. Again, week 6, baby. If we're 2-4 after week 6, then I'll join the rest of the guys on the bandwagon, because I know the chip wagon people are getting off. People are getting off. They're definitely getting off.
No, they're definitely getting off. I'm not off yet. I'll give the guy. It's only 2 games. Like I said, there's 14 more to go. But I really need to see something against a tough Jets defense on the road. I need to see something big. We got a couple road games coming up. We go to Washington. I think the Saints are in there. Giants, Panthers are all before the bye. So we got trying to keep calm and chip on, as our Twitter handle says, but it's very, very difficult to do, especially being we're such diehard fans. We're just it is gut wrenching. Like, I feel ill over that game, and it was the biggest waste of 4 hours of my life. Although before the game was fun, we were in K-Lot. Yeah. I was all over the lots. I was meeting all kinds of people. It was a lot of fun. The atmosphere was great, and then we put up a dud. We get our hopes up so much. We were so excited for this game, home opener against the Cowgirls. Everyone's got their Dallas Sucks shirts on, pissing on the helmet. But in true Eagle fashion, they let us down, man. Let us down once again. It's like, I thought Chip was the guy. I'm not saying he's not the guy, but he needs to show me something like now, like tomorrow on Sunday. I mean,
yeah, no, I completely agree. And again, just I've seen him come back before. Now, I don't think the personnel might not be as talented as that personnel from 2 years ago, but I've seen it before. So I'm just hoping to see it again. And it better happen again, or else his ass is going to be on the hot seat in Philadelphia. Now, I did want to bring this up too, because this shows to me how much we have overreacted over this loss. So Philly.com does a poll, and it says, should Mark Sanchez start week 3? 58% say yes.
Oh, wow. No.
Yes.
That will not help our call. That is not our issue. He will not help any more than Bradford would. He wouldn't. Why don't we just
he would have thrown 6 interceptions. He would have turned the ball over 3 times, 2 butt fumbles. Come on.
Why don't you just bring Tebow back and say a prayer?
Just come on, people. Come on. Get realistic here.
Yeah. You brought Bradford. You can't, after 2 weeks, you cannot start going down that route, man. Bradford's getting, what, $14 million? I mean, no, you don't bench him for Mark freaking Sanchez. Oh, dirty Sanchez. He would just make it worse. He would make it worse. He would not help our cause at all. I
Let's
don't
talk
care that
about
we're playing the Jets either. Doesn't matter.
yeah. Let's talk about the receivers now. Coming into the year, there was, I guess, promise because there was such a young receiving core. Jordan Matthews, second year. Josh Huff, his second year. Aguilar, his first year. He's a rookie. And these guys are struggling, not getting a lot of separation. I saw Aguilar got a lot of separation last week, even though he wasn't targeted. This week, maybe not so much. Matthews, another drop. I mean, you had the one where he's sliding on a third down, catchable, one that you got to make. Being the best receiver on your team, you got to make that catch. Doesn't do it. And the other thing about Chip that I am despising right now, anytime I see Riley Cooper on the field, I can't stand it. I don't care that he's a good blocker. I don't give a shit. Huff should not be splitting snaps with Riley Cooper. That should not be going on.
No. I mean, overall, I mean, there's still Jordan Matthews finished with the best day again, but still, he had critical drops. We keep saying we want to see something out of Josh Huff. Maybe a deep threat. Aguilar has some speed. Maybe he can be a deep threat. But none of this matters. None of the receivers matter if we can't run the ball and block for the run or even protect Sanchez in the pass blocking. If we can't establish a run, we're not going to play. They're going to play against, keep guys back. They're getting pressure with 6 men in the box and keep 5 guys back. We're not going to. Bradford won't have time to throw, or we have to establish a run to set up the pass. That's just how this works.
Yeah, and it's not like last year when they struggled to run with McCoy because teams were loading the box. I saw 6 men in the box yesterday, and we couldn't run the ball. Defensive line just in the backfield. I don't know if I brought this stat up earlier on this show. Maybe it was pre-show. But DeMarco Murray right now is being hit behind the line of scrimmage on 48% of his carries. Abysmal.
That's god-awful. You can't win like that. For a while, we didn't hit positives in the rushing yards yesterday until the fourth quarter. We were in the negatives for a while.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever right now with Murray. Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do.
Yeah, no, it's true. You can put Walter Payton there, and he wouldn't go anywhere either. Barry Sanders. Well, Barry Sanders will find a way. He'll spin around. He would find a way. But no, you put anybody at running back, doesn't matter. Not the way our line's been blocking and letting the penetration of the defensive line get in there. It's just they're halfway in the backfield. You can't even. He's getting hit at like the handoff. Like he gets handed the ball off and there's a defender. You can't use your vision. You can't even see anything because you're getting tackled as soon as you get the ball. It's unacceptable. I've never seen such poor blocking before in my life.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. We go from having the best offensive line in the league like 2-3 years ago, and now we're not even the top half of the league. Right now, these first 2 games, we're in like the bottom 5.
Yeah, not even close. Yeah, and we have before the season started, we have the best backfield combination in the league. Murray, Matthews, Sproles. On paper, absolutely, but those guys can't just run by themselves and run down the field. There's a whole offensive line, defensive line they got to get around. There's all these guys they got to get around. The running backs don't get anything without help. They need the blockers. So we're not running the ball with no blocking. It's just a fact.
Yeah. So Peters, Kelsey, I'm looking at those 2 guys. Those 2 guys are getting called out because Barbary, Gardner, I expect shittiness from them, okay? Not that I accept it, but that's just what it is. So those 2 guys got to pick up your play, and I think they will. These are all-pro caliber type of players, and they should be able to, pick up their play. And, again, I wanted to bring this up. This kind of goes back to the last two NFL drafts and how we don't draft linemen. This past year, we were thinking about taking a guard in the 4th round, and then 3 guys go in a 3-pick span, and we wind up trading out of the 4th round. I don't want to hear about Mathis, okay? I don't want to hear it. He's out in Denver right now. He looks like shit too, okay? So I don't want to hear that. I wanted to see them draft linemen. That's one of the things that I didn't understand with Chip, and it's coming back to bite him in the ass big time.
I completely agree. I wanted another lineman this year in the draft. It was a need you needed to address. But Chip was just like, oh, it's okay. We'll use our guys from last year, Barber and Gardner. They'll fill in just fine. They were already on the roster. Like you said, we were eyeing up guys in the 4th round. They got picked back to back to back. But if you were eyeing up somebody, make a deal and move up further if you think he's going to be a difference maker. Like, look at what the Cowboys did. They have one of the best offensive lines in the league. It was mostly all through the draft. Chip's only offensive lineman pick was his very first pick ever. It was Lane Johnson. And he's probably been, if he had to pick one, maybe the best offensive lineman so far in the first 2 games. I mean, better than how everybody else has been doing. I mean, the whole line's been awful, so can't really pick one guy that was good. You got to build through the draft on the O-line, and Chip just he wants to do what he wants to do, so he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, and the other guy that's struggling run blocking uncharacteristically is Brent Selleck. Brent Selleck wasn't good yesterday either. Like, it's running through the whole team. They're, I don't know what they're putting in the smoothies there. Clearly not the run blocking smoothies. I mean, Selleck too. This is one of the premier blocking tight ends in the league, and he's looking like this. Just concern, man, all the way around. There is a curse going around Lincoln Financial Field.
Like I said it earlier, I'm scared. I'm worried that this could continue to spiral in a direction we do not want to go. I'm remaining cautiously optimistic. I'm trying, but it's hard. It really is. I'm honestly worried. I've never seen a worse, say 6 out of 8 quarters. I've never seen a worse start to the year. You have to go back to probably the Ray Rhodes days. I mean, Doug Peterson would be able to throw. Doug Peterson would be able to complete more passes and move the ball down the field more yesterday.
Just like, it's every first down. It seems like we're just losing yards, and that's how you get the tempo going, the tempo and the rhythm of the fast break offense. You get the first down, and you get the defense on its heels, and you just go, and they can't even get a first down.
Yeah.
First half, one first down. I've said this 5 times in the show already. One goddamn first down. One, and it came via penalty. Just like ridiculousness.
And it's just he's supposed to be this offensive genius. His play calls were not good at all. I never forget, 1st and goal at the 3, and you throw the ball, at least try running it on first down. Yeah, the running game hasn't been working, but try it again. It's better than throwing that interception that Bradford threw in the end zone when we were driving. Can't capitalize off turnovers. We're committing turnovers. You can't win that way. I mean, obviously we know we would never, we had a horrible chance of winning that game yesterday because we played so bad. But even after all the bullshit, we were sort of within striking distance a few times, and we were never, until it was 20-3, we were never down more than 10 points until the end. Just awful. Like you said, the defense did their job. I mean, they only gave up 13 points. Special teams gave up the other touchdown to give them 20. But I mean, Chip Kelly's offense just can't put up 10 points. I only count 3 of them because of the garbage touchdown. I think Dallas knew they had it already, and that was with final minute.
Yeah. All right. So 12% of teams that start 0-2 do not make the postseason. Or make the postseason. I completely screwed that stat up. 7 teams in 2014 started 0-2. Indianapolis was the only one that made the postseason. 8 teams in 2013. Carolina was the only squad that made the playoffs. And the Eagles right now are 0-2 for the first time since 2007. Now, the reason why you can be optimistic is the NFC East is brutal. It is terrible.
Good point.
Awful division. And with all the injuries going around right now in Dallas, they got a tough slate coming up. Yeah, I mean, who the hell knows? If Chip can somehow turn shit around, Eagles could be in first place by midseason.
It's true, but he just has to turn it around and not do what he did the first 2. He has to follow up with that. He has to follow up with your statement. But you're right. You made a good point. Let's see. The Giants have blown 2 10-point fourth quarter leads in both their games. They're 0-2 along with us in the gutter of our division. Dallas squeaked out 2 kind of ugly wins. So they're 2-0. And the Redskins got a win yesterday, actually looking better than anyone else in our division looked yesterday, and impressively ran the ball. Nice rookie running back, Matt Jones, looked like a stud. Even with Deshaun out, I mean, they moved the ball. They easily won that game. I didn't have them pegged to win that game, but I think the division's wide open. You're right, but we have to start turning around right now.
Absolutely. You can't control the division until you start controlling yourself, and obviously got to make the adjustments, got to change, got to get shit together. So we'll see if they can. And they're lucky they're in the NFC East. This is like the NFC South last year. This division is abysmal, and this is a division where 9-7 can win it. So things are still very much open in the air. The Eagles are getting lucky with their schedule too. You get to see their next 3 quarterbacks they face: Ryan Fitzpatrick, Kirk Cousins, and either Luke McCown or Garrett Grayson, because Drew Brees went down today. Well, he went down yesterday, but he tore his rotator cuff. Bye. He's gone.
Yeah, so that's a good point too. Our defense has been solid as long as Maxwell doesn't want to laugh his way to the bench. He can cover somebody. We gotta just, that's the only thing I'm worried about is the secondary. Our front 7, even though Kiko, it doesn't look very good for Kiko. That's really, really disappointing. Don't know. I didn't get an official word, but I just heard that the season is in jeopardy for Kiko. I just saw that on my news feed. So we'll see. Our defense should be able to hold their own against the likes of, like you said, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Kirk Cousins, and whoever Saints throw out there. So, we'll just see. I mean, Chip has to figure out his side of the ball. That's all I got to say. And
yeah, I'll tell you what, this Jets game it's going to be ugly. It's going to be awful. I see it already, man. This isn't going to be a change that happens overnight. They're going to have to figure shit out as they go along, and it's not a recipe for success or anything. That's like trying to figure out your golf swing on the golf course. That's not something you want to do, but that's just what's going to happen. That's what's happening right now. So you come into the year, you have all these changes, and you don't play your starters in the preseason. DeMarco Murray barely plays. Zach Ertz doesn't play at all due to injury. Sam Bradford doesn't play a lot. He's not building the cohesiveness with his receivers yet. He looks just timid and lost and not good right now. But I'm still have my hopes up on him just because he hasn't played in 2 years, and just we'll see what happens. I do tend to be a little bit more optimistic than I'm kind of a positive person. I have a positive mindset. So maybe that's really what's going on here. Maybe I'm being completely blinded by the chip aid that I've been sucking down all offseason. We'll see.
You're drunk on that chip aid, man.
It
Not
does
so
taste
good.
good.
Oh yeah. You can be up here and optimistic. I'm gonna be right in the middle. I'm gonna float in the middle and just lay back and just hope for the best. That's all you can do. I mean, like I said, these guys still making their millions. We can't, it's a big passion of mine. I love football more. I love the Eagles more than anything, but it's you just gotta you just gotta take, try and relax and like you said, stay calm. You're trying to be optimistic. I get it. It's hard right now, but big test on Sunday. On to the next game. It's only week 3, so
Yeah. Yeah, like I said earlier, if this is week 8 and we're doing all this shit, yeah, I'm very, very discouraged, not confident, all that stuff. But yeah, I guess we could pretty much end the show now. We're kind of repeating ourselves now. I don't have anything else I really want to talk about. It's really simple. Offensive line has to get better, and that's it. That's it. Plain and simple. It all starts with the offensive line, and if it can get better, if it can get fixed, then we're going to start moving the ball down the field. So until that happens, though, we're going to keep looking like shit. We're going to be inconsistent on offense. So, we'll see.
yeah, exactly.
All right. So, anything else you want to talk about, or you want to go to final thoughts?
You can fire away with the final thoughts, man. Go for it.
Oh, you want me to fire away? Oh man. See, I'm usually not the final thought guy, but I'll say this: Temple football right now looks better than fucking Eagles.
That's what I was gonna say. Bring maybe Matt Rule can be a consultant for Chip. He show him how to block an extra point.
Oh jeez.
Oh, that was actually an awesome game. I watched. Did you finish watching it? That was great.
Dude, it's funny. I still haven't. I haven't finished watching it yet because I just haven't had time. Yesterday was the game. We were tailgating all day, and today, unfortunately, I put myself through the torture of watching yesterday's game again so I could do the show. So, because I always watch the game twice. I'll watch it twice, and then I'll even go and watch the game film. So, like, I might, like, one of these nights, I'll go watch the game film too. And, unfortunately, the game film's not out yet. I was hoping to watch the game film today because I wanted to see the line. That's basically what I watched the game today for. But watching the line, watching to see if the receivers were getting separation, and and that's what it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's basically it for this video. I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, I know in preseason I was telling everyone to temper their expectations, but I wasn't expecting this at all. This is just. I mean, I'll say this then. Maybe I was fooled by the training camp in preseason too, because even though I'm saying temper expectations, I'm still like, all right, this Green Bay game, Sam Bradford's looking sharp, and I thought maybe, just maybe, he did shake off all the rust, missing all those years with the ACL tears, and well, right now he's playing scared, and I just hope this isn't his mindset. I hope he's not one of those kind of fragile mental kind of quarterbacks. Those ones don't succeed in this league.
No, not at all. I'm like I said, I'm trying to stay laid back and just see what happens, but I'm scared, man. I'm scared we're gonna see Sanchez at some point. I'm scared we're gonna it's just gonna be a spiral, but I can't be a Debbie Downer. I gotta try and be optimistic like you.
Yeah.
It's just hard. I'm really upset. I'm still reeling, dude.
Week 6, we'll see what our record is. So that's it. All right. Week 6, we'll see what it is. We'll see how we look. So yeah, man. Let's get out of here. I know you're starving, so I'll go let you eat, and let's finish this show right now.
All right, man.
All right. Go Birds, baby. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't hop off the chip wagon just yet. Okay, maybe Billy Davis's wagon is a little empty. I can understand that one, but
You jump on
yeah,
that one.
yeah, he's terrible. I hate his scheme. I can't stand his scheme. You know, I know his defense looked really, really good last night, but I want him gone. I hate him.
Yeah. Just because he has good players, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
The
So
front seven stack. I mean,
the guy's a terrible defensive coordinator, plain and simple. But yeah, we're out of here. Go Birds, baby.
go
Hopefully.
Birds. Turn it around, baby.
Yep. Later.